Welcome to episode 20 of Extreme Metal Television. I am your host, Dr. Gore. Now, our good friend and fellow co-host Simon will not be making it into this episode. He has a bad case of appendicitis, just got released from the hospital, and we wish him the best of luck. Now, coming up in this episode, we speak to German metalers Varg, and we also speak to Toronto-based death metalers Hallows Die. Now, why don't we get things started with a band profile?
Leave the Living was formed in 2010 in Red Deer, Alberta, Canada. They released their self-titled EP earlier this year.
We did 5 songs. We recorded it live off the floor. I just tried to get a feel for what the band was like at that point. It was a lot of fun. We recorded with Demon Recording out of Red Deer. Poor Mon's been deported now, so yeah. It's going really well. We've put a lot of copies out there already, and just
So a lot of bands nowadays they're doing the studio recordings, tracking, and you guys did the live recording off the floor. Why did you guys choose that road?
We felt it kind of gave us a more realistic example of what we actually sounded like. You know, a lot of albums you'll check it out and it's picture perfect, right? Note perfect, everything is metronome right down to the millisecond. But then you see the band live, and they don't sound like that. And we really wanted our CD to represent what we actually sound like when you see us.
When you guys are writing your music, where do you draw your influences from? How do you convey those influences into the finished product?
And basically just from
Just
metal.
don't really think about it.
Yeah, like it.
Just like sit down and see what comes out.
Like,
Sit down right after work and just start screwing around a guitar, and all of a sudden you got a riff.
A lot of the times,
Out
like,
the date.
yeah, a lot of the times they'll just write a riff or whatever, and they'll like come over and we'll sit down and jam out for about an hour or two, and then before you know it, after about a week, we have about a finished piece.
And how long did it take you guys to record the EP there?
EP, I think we did it in about a weekend.
2 days.
We did it the Saturday, Sunday. It was pretty fun.
And are there any songs that you guys prefer not to play live? And is there any reasoning behind that?
Somebody's Leaving with Broken Nose. The last song on the EP, actually.
Yeah. Is it self-explanatory?
It's very intricate guitar work in the beginning. It's an old song for us. Like we've had that for a year and a half at this point, so it doesn't really reflect what we sound like now. So we don't play it very often.
And where did the name come from?
Essentially, we just kind of got together at this guy's house one night, and we decided we need to decide a band name. And
We had a safety meeting and some drinks.
drinks, a lot of drinks, and we kind of just woke up in the morning and we sifted through the list of band names that we had, and it was Leave the Living.
Germany's Varg recently rolled through town on their first North American tour. We sat down with bassist Timo Schwämmlein and asked him about the band's latest release, Guten Tag.
Well, it's pretty diverse. I think it's much more diverse than the previous albums we did. There are lots of different styles involved in the music. We got like pretty heavy and fast songs, but as well quite catchy melodies and different instruments in it, like bagpipes and all different stuff. We tried out more than on the other albums.
You included an English song this time around on
Yeah,
Guten Tag. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's called A Thousand Eyes.
Yeah.
And yeah, well, the only reason why it's in English is because we have this feature with Jonne from Kopiklani,
Yeah.
who's doing vocals in that song. And yeah, well, he's from Finland, we are from Germany. Neither speak we Finnish, nor is he speaking German. So we thought it's like the easiest way to do the whole song in English, because that's the only language we share.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's why we did it. It worked out pretty fine for us and for him as well.
Do you feel pressured to sing more songs in English to appeal to a North American audience?
No,
No?
I don't think so. Maybe we felt a bit like that before we started the tour.
Yeah.
But now we have more than a week, I think, for shows, and it was just only awesome shows so far. Crowd and people reacted really good, even they probably can't understand any fucking word we say. But I think the people can feel the energy and like kind of feel what it's about, what we're trying to say, and that's the most important thing, to like transport the right feeling to the people.
Varg recently released a video for the title track off their new album Guten Tag. We asked Timo what the concept was behind that video.
It's kind of a loose concept. Like the lyrics are about mainly people more and more pitying themselves, like, oh, I hate my life, whatever. And the lyrics are like kind of trying kick your ass and saying, oh, come on, don't stop pitying yourself, get yourself up, live your life, do your thing, grab it by the balls and just have fun. Yeah, life can be awesome if you try to do so. And yeah, that's kind of the main concept behind the song, and that's like what we try to express with the video.
What was the recording process like for Guten Tag?
It was different than the two previous albums, really different, because we changed our producer, who has his studio is like in the same building as our rehearsal room is. So we didn't have to drive somewhere else, like far from our home. So everyone could drive back home in the evening after the recordings and like be with their families, friends, girlfriends, stuff. Which I didn't do because I like to, I don't know, focus on the recordings, and real life has to be out of focus. But so I slept in the studio the whole time.
How long did the recording process take?
8 weeks. Yeah, and that's one of the main differences as well. We took like 8 weeks in the studio that time. Like before, we only had 4 weeks at maximum, I think. So we had like eight weeks in the studio and around about 3 or 4 months beforehand for writing all the songs. So we really took our time, and yeah.
Did you like having that little bit of extra time in the studio to perfect things? Or?
It is cool. Like it makes. What do I say? Yeah, if you listen to that album compared, like as you said, like Blue Tour was more raw.
Yeah.
Like we didn't have much money and much time in the studio, so everything had to be really quick, do stuff. So that time we had really much time to focus on stuff and think about, oh, what could we do more? Oh, here we could add like a bagpipe or whatever, some weird instrument. Oh, let's record this and that. And I think that's what made that album so diverse as it is now, because it's like you can hear it every time you hear it again, you can hear something new you haven't listened to before, probably, or you haven't recognized before. So that is a cool thing, but I think it's not actually better. It's just both kinds are good. The raw stuff can be like awesome as well.
Hey, this is Honor Strongest from motherfucking Guar, and you are watching Extreme Metal Television!
Toronto-based death metal band Hallows Die recently rolled through town, and we had a chance to speak to the band about their upcoming new album. We also asked them about how their sound has progressed over the years.
Murphy's Law, if something could go wrong, then it will, and it has. Other than that, we've just been working like hell on it. Gabe here is actually doing most of the engineering, so he's the mastermind behind the Grammy-winning sound, or Juno-winning, so which one?
I think we need a Juno.
We need a Juno, yeah, the Juno-winning production behind it. So, but other than that, writing-wise, it's just we're one of those bands that wish we could say that we're a jam band. We wish that we could stand in a room and write a song, but unfortunately, he lives
He lives like half an hour away from us.
Half an hour. It's like an hour with traffic. So we kind of do our things separately and then come together with it, or
Usually it's a clapper.
As much as real musicians will call us a cop-out, but Guitar Pro is a saving grace. Guitar Pro is an absolute saving grace.
It's a godsend,
yeah. So we don't like to think of it as a cop-out, as it's just a different method.
What kind of sound changes has the band gone through since the World of Ruin album?
Sound changes? We're definitely heavier. But if you actually go through and listen to World of Ruin from start to finish, it wasn't really that hard to be heavier then. So it's kind of it's a new direction anyway.
Kind of stepping out of the mellow death sound we were going for and adding more of a progressive twist to it.
Yeah, we're kind of branching out in terms of elements that we're bringing into it. I think mainly out of boredom.
Having half a new band kind of helps.
Yeah, I guess sound-wise changed when 50% of the band members left and we picked up 2 more. So these are he's currently the new guy, so he gets to foot the hotel bills and all that other stuff that Jason Newsted had to do. So.
We asked Hallows Die about their track, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, which is off of their latest EP. This is what the boys had to say.
Well, it's kind of a play on words. If anybody, we get a lot of people emailing us, and actually it's kind of cool because it's a play on the Philip K. Dick novel, which ended up turning into Blade Runner. But it's kind of written not traditional metal lyrics style, I suppose. It's more of a short story, even shorter because it's lyrics. But it's basically it's a dude who's a machine who falls in love with a chick in the future, and they can't have that because everybody knows when machines become self-aware, they become Skynet. Nobody wants Arnold Schwarzenegger ruling the planet, so they decide to destroy him. But it's the whole like transpiring of events, and it deals a lot with like social moral issues, as we kind of tend to, right? Like how far does ownership go, and what is considered morally acceptable in terms of, we have a lot of questionable things that go on in the world right now, whether it be, we'll take people getting, like, working in sweatshops type deal within Canada, within the United States, getting paid, piss all to do the work that, nobody would ever do, right? So it's kind of as I said, a real question of ownership in that sense, so.
What's next for Hallows Die after the CD release party?
After the CD release, well, lots of touring, but right now the big thing is getting to the CD release party. We'll tell you that it'll be out in. We originally wanted it to be out in November this time, but it's looking like it's gonna have to be delayed yet again. So hopefully it'll be out before you or all of us are in wheelchairs with our kids changing our catheters. That's the ultimate goal right now, but we might have to tour in a wheelchair accessible bus at that point, but we're gonna do our best to make it out.
If we can afford a bus.
Yeah, if we can afford a bus at that point in time.
Alright, well that is going to do it for another episode of Extreme Metal Television. I would like to thank you all for watching, and if you wanted to email us, you can email us at extrememetaltv@gmail.com. Now I'd like to introduce my co-host King, and we're going to have a little bit of fun with bloopers.
Yeah, we usually try to end the show off in something a little bit fun, usually a funny story from a band. But I figure it's the end of the year, it's the last show of the year, so why not show you some of the behind the scenes of EMTV, because this show does not run all that smoothly most of the time. So we've got some pretty funny stuff coming up, from bloopers from us on the green screen to some interviews that didn't go so well.
Yeah, some interviews you just can't undo.
And even during some interviews, there's some pleasant surprises and some strange ones too. We're going to get to all that. I think you guys are going to find it pretty funny. There's some pretty harsh language in there, so watch out, but it's going to be pretty funny. Thanks for such a great year. We've had such a good time. We've interviewed some of our favorite bands, and next year's going to be even better, I hope.
Thank you all for watching, and until next time, see ya.
In this episode, we will actually be having an...
Black Dahlia Murder to discuss their latest album, Rituals, which has each different song based on a separate ritual.
I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I'd like to thank my co-hosts King and Simon for all of their hard work.
He said that like you didn't believe it. All their hard work.
Well, recently released Fukushima, a single. A single.
His new album, Behold Almighty Doctrine, is due to be released later this year from some record label that I can't remember the name of.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Okay. Hold on a sec.
To some bands, we spoke to a promoter / stage diver, and we also spoke, most.
Get things going with a band profile. Fuck.
I'd like to thank you all for joining us once again. I'd also like to thank Shank. I'd also like to shank.
I would like to murder my co-host.
This is called a hostile takeover.
All right, we are sitting down with the legendary frontman of Death Metal Supreme, Deicide, Glenn Benton.
Wow, pull your lips off my ass, please.
She wants to be on camera. Can we get some boobs on camera? Yeah, boobs present.
You gotta get this. You gotta get this.
A guy holding his gut. Don't film the police, please.
North Carolina's Wretched has been releasing bristering. Bristering just got stuck in my head there again.
Son of Perdition has a bristering theme.
Yeah. The Son of Perdition has a bris theme to it. Snip, snip.
Another episode of Extreme Metal Television. I'm your host, Simon. In this episode, we have a chat with Marduk. We do. Once again.
It has existed both as a live band in Japan. Japanada? What the fuck is Japanada?
To vocalist Mel Mongion about how the fuck the facts.
Awesome. How the fuck the facts?
How the fuck the facts? How do you do it?
I forget what I say at the end.